Hello everyone, welcome back once again to Maid-ing 2. It has been a rather quiet afternoon, I must say. There hasn't been terribly much going on, including a lack of hooligans, which personally I'm quite thankful for. We have, however, had another delivery, this time from the Master's estate itself, and it includes a rather large selection of books. So, this time around I believe we shall be restoring, well, I say restoring, re-implementing the library of this particular mansion. And in the meantime, a number of you have left me some questions, so we're trying to answer a few of those. Let me see, let's start off with the scientific journals, I feel. Always the easiest to organise around. So let me see, from Flurrybird. Were you always a maid? If not, what did you do before taking it up as your profession? Oh, I scarcely remember, to be fair. I have some dim recollections of keeping things tidy here and there, but for the most part, I mostly just dabbled. Let's see, a couple more, I feel. Yes, there we go. That should look quite nice. Let me see. Next, science next to theology is not particularly the most sound of choices. How about history, botany? Well, let's start with botany at the very least. From Small Dragon Fae, where do you hail from? As some of you have realised, I am indeed not a local resident, and the culture here is somewhat alarming in a few ways to me. I can't scarcely say I have much of a dwelling, much of a homeland to my own. I mostly just go wherever I am needed. Let's see, there we go. Rather nice nook. Jordan Reed asks, how long have you been working for Master Jonathan, and do you have any favourite memories from your years of service? I have been working for Master Jonathan for, let's see, history seems... Fiction geography, ah yes. Tales of Magical Lands, I remember that. I have been working for Master Jonathan since he was a boy. I believe that would make it, this isn't proper. I believe that would make it some... hungry things. I believe that would make it some... I've been working for his family for longer, but that would make it at least 24 years. Perhaps closing in on 30, the Master is not quite the young scamp he used to be. On the subject of... oh dear. No, not paying much attention from me. The Master was quite an exuberant child, it must be said. Let's see, periodicals. Let's place those against his wall. The Master was quite an exuberant child, and I believe I caught him sneaking peeks in the pantry far too many times to recall clearly. But overall, I would say he was rather well behaved. Rafe on Shaker asks, what brand are the machines in the kitchen? They are the same brand as these pieces of furniture. In fact, they are from the Crayfish brand. I believe they have some large, somewhat on the large side at least, depots where one might purchase various goods. There we are. A nice seat upon which to rest one's feet whilst they read. Very good, very good. Firefly asks, is there a reason you call the zombies hooligans? Yes, the contagion began with the hooligans and the thugs and various miscreant youths. Let's see. Ooh, familial accounts. Let's place that next to the periodicals. Let's see. Start with up here. Already we've got some mold, it would seem. There we are. Master can read his various journals of his ancestors and his grandfather in particular. Let's see. Fiction, architecture, theology, economics, and law. Let's start with the law. Let's see where we end up. But yes, I refer to them as hooligans simply because the vast majority of them at least were originally, although it's certainly diversified since then. And over here slightly should polish things off. And oh, I have one spare. Let's place that down here. Why do you prefer a bow and ranged weapons to swords and such? Well, they're simply more elegant and they avoid any unsightly stains, which are certainly not something pleasant to be working in. Did you train or were you self-taught? Neither. It's simply a requirement of my profession. Though I have one or two medals as a consequence of my particular abilities and skills in it. That question was from Sophie Smith Campbell. I don't quite recall if I said that out. Marvellous Holt asks, how did you come to work for your master, and what is he like? Do you know who the bandits who robbed the vault are? My, quite a few questions there. Holt. Let me see. Well, I suppose there's a few better places over here. Although this will mean placing it somewhat close to... Well, let's go with it and we can perhaps find somewhere better. And I do wish you'd go away. Oh, I don't expect you'll be doing so in a hurry. Yeah. I've been working for my master, as I say, for quite some time. The exact details are dull, I assure you. But suffice to say, I'm under contract and I've been working for some time. What is he like? Oh, well, I say he was quite an exuberant youth. I dare say that hasn't changed very much. He is still fond of gallivanting off wherever he may. Architecture seems to fit here. And do you know who the bandits who robbed the vault are? I shall imagine there's some folks in similar nature to the master himself. After all, he was quite adamant that only a certain brand of individual be allowed access to the vault in the first place. And I'm not quite terribly certain where to put these books without dividing them too much. Let's leave that in here for now. But beyond that, no, I have very little information about them. Let's see, down to fantasy and myth, fictional far-flung lands, and science fiction, of which the master is not a particular fan. But just before we do this, let's place a bit more furniture, shall we? And a coffee table there, just for relaxing with one's feet up. Similarly, we can have another here. I think. There we go. And where would be another place to sit? Well, we are going to have to expand over to here in the near future, so we might as well have a rather nice view as we read. So here we are. And then we can place the fiction in this section. I'm gonna have to clear that off. Oh, and I believe the master does have a preference for the colour of his... Ooh, heavens. Ooh. There we go. A preference for the colour of his sofas. There we are. Ooh, this is quite plush. Very nice. Alright. Bloops a lot asks... I'll deal with you momentarily. Bloops a lot asks, why did Master Jonathan send you alone to the mansion? Simply put, the master is in something of a bind presently and isn't quite able to rally the great muster of his forces. Let's place the geography here. Consequently, I am more or less the best he can do, although I was quite assured that this was a task well within my reaches, so I do not imagine that the master was mistaken in that regard. Let's see, the master prefers fantasy, so let's place that here. go. All broadly within good reach. Very good. Excellent. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Okay. Lighting may prove an issue, but nonetheless we shall persevere. And that just leaves the science fiction, which, as I say, the Master is not as grand a fan of. Personally, I find it quite interesting. How long has it been since you've worked at the Manors? Asks Emma Zimmerman. I have never worked here, actually. I've been within the Master's family for quite some time, but I have never worked at this particular property. This particular property is usually left unfurnished, as you can perhaps tell, and generally it is loaned out to whatever third party the Master is in need of at a given period of time. The last built the machine that we see in the basement, but before that there have been various performers, there have been researchers, there have been whole cavalcades of experts. In all, this isn't a property that I have personally worked at until just now. Yes, there's excellent best books on architecture. We'll leave those for now. Final question, what do we have? Marie Vel Solaris, a rather interesting name, very nice, asks, how does one come by the fortitude to undertake such daunting tasks? Simply put, there are things in the world which must be done, which are not a matter of debate or of skill or of strength of character. There are things which simply must be done one way or the other by one man or a woman or other. And when it comes time to finding such a task, it is simply a matter of rolling one's sleeves up and getting to work. A willful denial of the daunting nature of the task, if you will. Alright. Now, I did say I would get to that particular fellow, so let's see if he's still here. Oh no, now he's wandered off. Oh. No, thank you. I think we'll have one day where I do not have to deal with you. But anyways, I hope you've all very much enjoyed this particular Q&A. I have received some words. Some of you gave some slight hints that have sparked an idea, and we might be able to see if we can get some more work done upon that machine in the next episode. With that in mind, I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll catch you all, as always, next time.